Buying a new set of wheels is a guaranteed way to give your bike a new lick of speed. But the big question remains, how much does it cost to get a tangible benefit from a new set of hoops? Well, in this video, I am going to demonstrate exactly what a bit of extra spend gets you. So I'm going to take DT Swiss's performance wheel set range and compare a high-end set of wheels to a low-end set of wheels. So on the one hand, I have these DT Swiss's PR 1600 spline wheels. These are brilliant wheels at an entry-level price point costing £495. They're typically found on bikes between £1,000 and £1,500. And on the other hand, I have a set of these DT Swiss's PRC 1400 wheels, and now these are a much higher end set of wheels, typically more performance orientated. These cost £1,675, so there's just over £1,000 in it, and I'm going to show you what that gets you. Now, all the products in this video are available to buy on freewheel.co.uk, a place where you can buy online while still supporting local bike shops. These are great examples of both high-end and low-end wheel sets, and if you would like to find out more about them, then check out the links in the description below. So the difference in price points is immediately obvious in the rim depths and the rim design. Now, on a value set of wheels, you'll typically have a shallow rim, usually anywhere between 21 and 32 mil. So that's how deep it extends here. It'll also be made out of aluminium, and you'll often hear value wheel sets described as bomb-proof or training wheels, and that's because they're wheels that you can ride whatever the weather, whatever the conditions, and you know that they will be fine. Now, the difference is when you start spending more money, the materials become more sophisticated. So the more money you spend, you'll start getting carbon fiber rims, which have loads of benefits. You know, they're stiffer and they're lighter than aluminium wheels. And you'll also be able to get more sophisticated shaping. So this is a 65mm deep rim, which gives you loads of benefits. So when you're riding along on the flat, more of your power is transferred into going forward. It rolls better and it rolls for longer, so it's far more efficient. Also, the more money you spend, the greater the focus on aerodynamics. So if I turn this rim side on and you look down here, you can see that it tapers in towards the center. That is to reduce this wheel's drag through the air, and that is something that more expensive wheels will have a much greater focus on. It's making them faster and more efficient. Now, there are two different braking systems in the cycling world: disc brakes and rim brakes. So getting the right one for you is really important. So disc brakes, it's kind of irrelevant at a lower budget point or a higher budget point, because the braking is consistent, because it all comes through a rotor or through the caliper. Now, the real difference you'll find is in rim braking. So imagine, if you will, that this is a rim braking wheel set, and I know it's disc, but it is available in rim brake. You would find an aluminium braking track around the rim. Aluminium braking is great in all conditions. It offers consistent stopping, but it lacks the immediacy of carbon braking. So this is a carbon brake track on here. Now, carbon braking is quite sophisticated in that it's able to withstand really high heats, and it is able to stop you very quickly, but it does not perform as well in the wet. And this harks back to the age-old saying that you would ride your bomb-proof aluminium wheels in the winter when it's really bad, and you would ride your deep section carbon wheels in the summer when the weather is better. Now, if you ride disc brakes, you don't have that problem, and you can ride whichever wheel you want all year round, because it doesn't matter rain or shine, the performance is always going to be the same. So when we talk about hubs and free hubs, we're talking about the system in the wheel, which transfers the power from your legs to the rear wheel, which drives the bike along. So I've got the hub here, and I can turn it and it clicks. Now, that is what we call an angle of engagement. So on these hubs, I can turn it, it clicks, but I can also turn it back a little bit. That's because it has a 20-degree angle of engagement. Whereas if I get the more expensive wheel, it still does that clicking, but it's much harder. There is no real room to turn it back, and that's because it has a smaller angle of engagement, only 10 degrees. So what you're getting when you spend more money is you're getting more teeth in the freehub body, which gives it a faster engagement time, which makes the wheel more responsive, which is why racers and people that are performance orientated like a hub which engages quickly, because it's more responsive and it drives their bike faster than one with a larger angle of engagement. It's worth noting that when a hub has a larger angle of engagement, it's not just cost saving, it is actually more durable. So it fits in with this wheel's remit of being a bomb-proof, durable wheel, because that hub is going to last a long time. Now finally, the more money you spend, the more sophisticated the spokes on a wheel. So as your price increases, you're more likely to get flatter spokes that are lighter or bladed, so they're more aerodynamic, and it's more likely that the nipples on the end of the spokes will be inside the rim. Again, that's more aerodynamic because it just keeps them out of the wind and reduces drag. So to summarize, the more money you spend on a wheel, the more performance orientated it becomes. And that's reflected in the rim design, the material that the wheel is made out of, and the sophistication of the hub. But that's not to say that a budget set of wheels aren't as good. They have a much greater focus on reliability and durability, so really it just depends on the type of rider you are and what you want from your set of wheels. But having said that, I think it's time to have a good old-fashioned wheel debate in the comment section below. So please let us know your thoughts on what we've discussed today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Cycling Weekly YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.